Tampa, home of the South Florida Bulls. Welcome to the herd. Go behind the scenes, from the sidelines to the studio and everywhere in between. Featuring exclusive interviews from coaches, players, insights from the community throughout the program's 26th football season. United by head coach Jeff Scott.
Here we go, lock in right here.
Get ready, because this is our family. This is Bulls country, and we're a stampede. This is Horns Up, USF All Access.
Hey, work on two, 1, 2. Work. Go.
Hello and welcome to Horns Up USF All Access. I'm WFLA sports anchor Karen Loftus.
And I'm USF sports anchor Kaylee Cottrell. Thank you so much for joining us.
And before we get into the show, we just want to say that our hearts are with everyone impacted by Hurricane Ian. It was truly devastating for those who were in its path.
That's right. We are thinking of you and hope all of you are taking care of yourselves.
While the Tampa region was spared the worst of it, many precautions were taken here throughout the week, including moving yesterday's football game against East Carolina from Raymond James Stadium to FAU Stadium in Boca Raton.
We'll have highlights from that game later on, but first we begin with inside access to the sights and sounds of USF with exclusive interviews and behind-the-scenes footage in the bullpen.
With that, we are checking in with Coach Travis Trickett's offensive staff and how they've made a significant impact on the players.
These guys are willing to accept everything that was given to them. The criticism, the hard work, knowing they'll have proven results. They're looking for this year to be a very exciting year.
Hand off Mangum, the dive, the score, touchdown. That's 6 for the Bulls.
The attitude for the team is, they're hungry. We've been through a lot of trials and adversity, and I think it's time for us to step through that storm, and these guys are taking the challenge, and they're excited about going out and performing. They'll come out swinging.
Flip out and a throw! Caught! Weaver on the receiving end.
Coach Xavier Dye, he's made an impact on me. I can really talk to him about anything, and so is Bobby Bentley. Coach Bentley, I can really talk to him about a lot of things and know that, it's all within the room and stuff like that.
Yes, sir. Coach Trickett, he's a great coach, man. He done came in, he's installed a few new things, and he likes to have a lot of speed going on back there, and he likes to spread them out. So we should have a fun time this year on offense.
Fake toss to Mangum. Bohannon straight ahead. Touchdown, South Florida.
Really close with my guys and want to see them do well. Bottom line, what I've kind of figured out is that nobody kind of makes it on their own. I think that there's a lot of talented people, but somewhere along the way, somebody helps you, and definitely a bunch of people helped me. I try to do the same thing with my guys. They're at a pivotal time in their life, 18 to 22 to 23, and really just try to build good relationships with them and see them do well in life.
This entire coaching staff is a staff that's all chasing the same thing. Like, their work ethic is unbelievable. Anytime I'm up there, I always see all of them working and finding ways to improve. And not only do they look for ways to improve on themselves, they look for ways to help us. As a player, you want to be a part of a staff that's going to push you and try to bring every single thing out of you.
Dukes in the game right now for the Bulls. Option. Dukes corrals to the pylon.
It's our job to take a young man to where he wants to go. I'm a vehicle. I work for the young players. I work for the student athletes. I get my paycheck from University of South Florida, but I work for our players, and they know that. Some people call it a player's coach or whatever. I'm not sure what that wording is, but they know when they walk into the meeting room or on the field that I'm going to work for them. And Coach Scott is my boss, and I'm going to do exactly what he tells me to do. But I work for our players, and I enjoy doing what I do, and I think it's a calling. I feel very good about our coaching staff. I think we're as good as anyone in the country.
On the ground, big hole. Brian Batty, he's got wheels. He's got a touchdown.
This segment was brought to you by Buhoff Law Group.
The relationships are so special, and what's amazing about this staff is not only are they developing the players for the games, but they're prepping them for real life, and the players learn valuable life lessons they can pass on to the next generation.
You all right? You sure? What up? Coach has changed my life. Now, how can I take what I learned, in education from the X's and O's of the weight room and build that relationship with our players to make them excel here at South Florida and beyond.
The lessons I learned doing football, it's not gonna be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. You gotta be patient, you gotta be coachable.
It taught me a lot about just being disciplined and staying on track and having some responsibilities and fulfilling those responsibilities.
It's a learning process.
The life lessons, the talks, going through adversity.
Pops it loose, recovered by South Florida. Down to the 35-yard line, Matthew Hill.
The most important lesson that I've learned playing football, I probably learned this when I was young. Just when you get knocked down, when you get hit, always get back up because, hey, if you stay down, you're already losing.
Being consistent.
And he's gonna be stopped. Boyles with the tackle.
Don't quit.
Just the people in my corner that wanted me to keep pushing, to keep striving to being great.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard.
Throws and it's picked off. Mekhi LaPointe.
Always be a team player was probably one of the first lessons that I learned. You know what I'm saying? I stayed committed to the grind and always encouraged them and pushed them, and that's why I really learned how to become like a better and a good teammate. You know what I'm saying? And I got the mindset of like not just coming to a school to play, come to a school to win.
I would say mental toughness, you know what I'm saying, because mental toughness is needed in life in general. So it just taught me a lot of lessons about that. And pretty much when you're not doing the right thing around other people or you're not working hard and you feel like you could just slack off, you just look in the mirror and you're cheating yourself. You're not cheating anybody else around you.
My dad put me in football at 6 years old to see if I like it. At first, I didn't like it. I played my first 2 years and I took a year off. That year off taught me a lot about myself and if I really love the game.
Fires into the waiting hands of the opposition. It's Dwayne Bowles with the pick, and he's got a full head of steam.
And I was about like 8 or 9 years old. And ever since then, I never took a year off, and here I am right now.
One key lesson I learned, don't leave your helmet in the ant pile. I was in Little League and I had my helmet in the ant pile and they told us to run a lap, so I grabbed my helmet and I put it on and my head was full of ants. I was freaking out. I didn't want to play anymore. Seriously, man, I remember like it was yesterday. I was traumatized.
Big hit, Mekhi LaPointe.
It's really about meaningful, positive relationships. Players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Our coaches have their back, and that's what's really, really important.
This segment was brought to you by MSC Cruises, a world of discovery.
Some very good lessons that they learned there. Well, a couple that stood out to me: always get back up and be a team player. Those are some good ones. Coming up next on Horns Up USF All Access, we'll have highlights from yesterday's game. That's coming up next.
The South Florida Bulls opened their conference schedule with a home game. A home game nearly 200 miles from home across the state at FAU Stadium.
Jeff Scott, his third year at USF, his team decimated by injuries already. Now the week turned upside down due to Hurricane Ian. They're treating this like a bowl game.
We had to put together a road trip, move everything on one day's notice, and it doesn't feel like a bowl game, but from the operation standpoint, that's really exactly what it's like. And then factor in, oh, by the way, it feels like half of your 2 deep is banged up as well. So this South Florida team, they're fighting through a lot right now, not just with the hurricane this week.
The game had the entertainment value of a bowl game, as adversity has helped this USF team bond together.
Ehlers is leveled on first down. Jason Vaughn, the fourth-year junior from Miami, playing just north of where he grew up, with the sack.
And on offense, the Bulls were much healthier at wide receiver.
On 2nd and 9, Bohannon hits Jimmy Horn Jr. He can fly. Jimmy Horn Jr. leaving everyone in his wake. Sound the horn for Jimmy Horn Jr.
A week after playing without their top 4 wideouts, Horn and company all returned to produce the best Bulls passing game of the season.
This linebacker room for the Bulls is one of the best in college football.
DJ Gordon and Dwayne Boyles combined for 23 tackles.
And Bohannon going deep, and what a catch by Weaver.
I like the effort and the energy from South Florida coming out for this first possession out of half.
Trailing at the break, South Florida scored the first 2 touchdowns of the second half, showing the never-quit attitude their fans have come to expect.
Bohannon fires toward the end zone. Jimmy Horn Jr. elevates for the score. His second touchdown.
Horn stacked up the 4th most receiving yards in a game in program history, and Gary Bohannon spread it around for a Bulls season high in passing yards.
Swing it, Brian Batty, first down.
Love this energy again for South Florida coming out of half.
This is what USF's offense can look like. Bohannon, the dual threat.
Bohannon's legs and arm produced over 300 yards of offense, while Brian Batty just missed his 3rd 100-yard rushing game of the season.
For USF, they started the half with the touchdown pass from Bohannon to Jimmy Horn. Bohannon eyes the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. Sean Atkins.
It was a game full of big plays as the Bulls did not let the circumstances affect them.
The edge from the blind side of Ehlers, and he has to throw it away. DJ Gordon.
South Florida had won 9 of the previous 12 meetings against East Carolina, but the first half hole was too big to climb completely out of. Not that they didn't try, as the Bulls continued to make it interesting, piling up a season high in yardage, showing both skill and will.
So on first down, 1st and goal, Batty spinning and reaching for the goal line. He is down inside the 1. Then Gary Bohannon slices in for the touchdown.
The comeback fell short, but this team showed what it is all about.
2nd and 9, ball is loose, and it's picked up by South Florida.
A week that started with practice being moved to Fort Lauderdale ended with the first relocation game in program history, and the Bulls kept adapting to all the changes, right down to the final seconds. This week's highlights brought to you by Wendy's.
Hey, Bulls fans. We really need your support.
The more support we have, the better we play.
Great new guys, great coaches. We putting stuff together all for y'all.
Not only for us, but for the future. You know, them guys out there getting recruited, they see things like that, and it just makes them want to come even more.
Go Bulls. Yeah, go Bulls.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. The Bulls like to move as one cohesive unit on and off the field. They believe football is more than just a game. It's a bond that goes beyond the football field, and all the coaches believe that the close relationships between the players and the coaches result in wins across the board.
Hey man, hey, look around this room right here. All right, look to your left, look to your right. All right, we get ready to go out there. You're not going out by yourself. All right, going out there with your brother. It's gonna have to be a oneness, a togetherness, and us versus the world for us to go do what we're about to go do.
Quentin Williams, he will throw, and a diving interception by the ball.
Very early in my life, I was able to see what a family atmosphere looks like in a football program. There's something special about a team, right? You've got so many players that come from different backgrounds, different neighborhoods, maybe different families, different areas, but they get in that locker room, they get in that huddle, and they're a family.
Having that connection in the locker room is it's a good feeling. So you can count on each other. We could lift each other, we could talk to each other a certain way, and we know what's going on.
We break down every day on family. We don't take it lightly because on that field, if I know the person to the left and to the person to the right of me got my back, I know I'm gonna be okay.
But I think the teams that are gonna win are the ones that have that bond and that close family relationships in their locker room.
It's about relationships with the players, relationships amongst the coaches, and that bond is what you need, because to win,
to win games and win games at this level, everybody has to be a cohesive unit, and that's about family and knowing about each other and caring about each other and loving each other, and Coach emphasizes that every day.
It's all about the brotherhood before we even the football team.
I'm with these boys more than family, you know what I'm saying? I only get to see my family sometimes 5-6 times a year. I see them every day. So naturally you're gonna become a family. So I feel like that's really important.
Go, let's get after these guys tonight. Here we go. Let's go. Hey, do something, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Jog it in, let's go.
Man, I think there's a camaraderie. I think that there's something about going through a journey and doing things hard with your brothers. I kind of try to tell the guys all the time is, you know, be a unit, be together. A lot of these guys you're gonna know for the rest of your life. You're gonna be in their weddings, be groomsmen. So that's a humongous deal, is having that family atmosphere.
It will be tough when we all have to go our separate ways, and you know, we end up in different areas of the country or even the world doing different things. Some of us might be playing football, some of us might be in the business world, some of us might be, you know, doing whatever. But I know that each guy will be successful in whatever career path they choose, and you know, we're definitely gonna keep in touch. Those are my lifelong best friends.
This segment was brought to you by Yingling, America's oldest brewery.
Right after the break, Kaylee takes a trip to Tarpon Springs with women's basketball guard Elena Chineke. That's next.
Welcome back to Horns Up USF All Access. It's time for my favorite part of the show. I explored Tarpon Springs with Elena Chineke, women's basketball guard, as she talked to me about her Greek heritage and her hopes for the season.
So coming to Tampa from Greece, did you ever imagine that you would find a cute little Greek town like this right outside the city?
No, I never imagined that. And once I learned, I think somebody told me, but I don't remember his name. He told me that, hey, there is a whole Greek community, and you are actually very close, like 45 minutes away. I was like, really? And then I just watched on YouTube, and I said, this is actually looking so good. The community did such a great job and made it look like actual Greece.
Yeah.
So I actually visit here like 2 times already.
Okay,
and
right
I love
on.
it. I love it.
That's great. Now, growing up in Greece, how did you start playing basketball, and when did you get into it?
So technically, I started playing basketball since very young age. So I would play basketball with my sister. We would just say, Mom, we're going to play, and we would come back when it's like nighttime.
Aww.
And just because it was right outside where we live, our mom could just go in the balcony and watch us, that we're right there. And that's how we just fell in love with the game. People saw us playing. They said, those 2 girls, they are good. They have to enroll in this sport. And we just started.
Now, from the perspective of an international athlete, what would you say the best part about playing at USF is?
The best part for me is that there's so many other players in my team that they are from different countries just like me, and that makes me feel more like warm and more comfortable because I'm not alone. And and I also love the support for the national people, for the national students in general in the USF.
Well, what is your favorite part about sharing your culture with your teammates?
My favorite thing, probably the food. The food is nice. Yeah, there's nothing like a good Mediterranean meal.
Yeah. Well, I know food is a big cultural aspect of the Greek culture.
Yeah.
So what do you say? Should we go check out the famous Hella's Restaurant and Bakery?
We should definitely go.
Let's
do it.
This is an incredible bakery. What are some of your favorite traditional Greek treats?
Well, I really like kadaifi right here.
Okay.
My mom would always bring that after work at home.
Oh,
and
nice.
me and my sister, my siblings would go crazy.
Love it.
And that's melo macarona. Okay.
Yes.
And it's especially for Christmas.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
Christmas dessert.
Yum.
Yes, and it's so good.
Now, I know you have a lot of love for this team. What excites you the most about this group?
First of all, it's all new players. I mean, most of them. So I really got to know them and see how their personalities are. We have 14 different personalities in the team, and I'm just most excited about when we start playing with each other, not just practicing and working out. And I know we can actually win a lot of games, but not just with our skills and talents, but through loving each other. So I'm really excited for this season.
Well, so are we. We all can't wait to watch you guys this
Thank
season.
you.
Thanks for hanging out with me today.
Of course, thanks so much.
I appreciate it. We had such a great time exploring the town. The women's basketball team has their first game in November, a big season ahead. Well, that's all the time we have for this week's show. Don't forget, you can catch the next Bulls football game coming up this Saturday. It's the Bulls versus the Bearcats. The Bulls hit the road to Ohio to take on Cincinnati this Saturday at 2:30.
That should be a good battle between South Florida and Cincinnati, with Cincinnati sitting at number 3 in the conference and South Florida at number 10. And of course, don't forget to join us next Sunday night at 9 right here for more exclusive USF content. For Kaylee and myself, thanks so much for watching. Have a great night.